It was the early 1990s and E17 were ready to guilt trip you to stay another day. This was also the time when Remington Steele got a chance to enjoy his martini shaken, not stirred. BBC One tracked down people who can't cook, won't cook, and Chester Cheetah found a whole new way to advertise junk food to kids. Hello, my name's Lorne, and that's just one of the Super NES games we're going to be talking about as we continue our journey through Super Play's Top 600.
Hey, what are you doing? Those are my lines!
I see you decided to come back. When you left the last episode, I just figured I was on my own for the rest of the series.
Nope, I just took a short trip to 19th century London to count down a couple of games, and now I'm back, so don't worry. I have everything under control.
Well, remember, I'll be right here if you need me to fill in. Just give me the word and I'll step in.
Sounds good.
Do the damn show the way it should have been done the whole time.
What?
No, nothing. I'll be over here. Okay, I'll be over here.
Perfect. Just stand right there, because I have a hunch that I'm going to be turning to you a lot over the course of this episode. I've read ahead, and oh boy, it's a doozy. Alright, now, where were we? Oh, that's right. It was the early 1990s, and E17 was ready to guilt trip you to stay another day. This was also the time when Remington Steele got a chance to enjoy his martinis shaken, not stirred. BBC One tracked down people who can't cook, won't cook. And Chester Cheetah found a whole new way to advertise junk food to kids. Hello, my name is Cyril, and this is the newest episode of Superplay's Top 600, the show where we read the verdicts and count down every single review published in the pages of Superplay magazine. Even if that means almost having my own show taken away from me. We left off on game 451, which means that today we're going to be focusing our attention on 450 through 401. Oh man, this is an absolutely crazy episode, and I'm not even talking about the attempted coup that you just saw. So let's just go ahead and dive headfirst into the next 50 games in our Super NES countdown. Number 450, Mohawk and Headphone Jack. If as much attention had been paid to its core gameplay as so very obviously has on its technical content, Mohawk could have been a tidy little game. There's some nifty stuff going on here, but it's wasted on such insipid gameplay. Number 449, the Combatribes. I was never very impressed with the coin-op original, and this is a similar story. The clever and funny boss versus boss one-on-one mode saves things a bit, but otherwise, short levels and limited moves equal a remarkably non-essential buy. Number 448, Arcus Odyssey. Is that it? Is that all there is? Yeah, take this game away and bring it back when it's finished. Number 447, Hit the Ice. Despite some great characters and hilarious animation, the laughably jerky scrolling, poor control, and, for much of the time, virtually undetectable puck let it down considerably. Number 446, Shanghai 2. So, although you'd have to be completely mad to actually fork over 45 quid for this yourself, if someone walks up to you on the street and presses a copy into your hand, thank them and take it straight home. Number 445, Adventures of Dr. Franken. Composed of familiar bits and pieces, the result is a shambling, inarticulate monster that fails to impart any sympathy for its condition. How apt. Number 444, Cosmo Gang, the Puzzle. Slick, colorful puzzle with a high novelty factor. Doesn't push you or your Super NES though, and is ultimately cupboard fodder. Number 443, Caveman Ninja 2. This isn't terrible, but there's such a big crowd of Super Nintendo platform games that Caveman Ninja 2 doesn't have a hope of standing out from it. Lots of challenge though. Number 442, Skuljagger. A flat-looking, easy, repetitive platform game that provides some short-term laughs, but little more. The bubblegum bits are weird more than anything. Number 441, Space Ace. As dogs' dinners go, this is Christmas lunch at Battersea. It perfectly combines all the things that I hate in video games. Wait, Christmas lunch at Battersea? I think this is gonna need some explanation. Lauren, what does any of this even mean?
Well, considering that Battersea is home to one of the world's most famous dog sanctuaries, I think the dogs' dinners at Christmas would be pretty good.
Oh. On with the show. Number 440, Zoku, The Legend of Bishin. A shallow and lackluster effort that attempts to mix two popular game styles with very little success. Avoid. Number 439, Test Drive 2, The Duel. Firmly rooted in its computer game origins, this looks out of place on the Super NES, even though it's a good conversion. Number 438, Bugs Bunny, Rabbit Rampage. Despite the extra megabits, this is just another mediocre Sunsoft platformer riding on a popular cartoon license. And that's all, folks. Number 437, Chester Cheetah. The over-colorful graphics will please the kids, but this is a no star in the gameplay department. It's just too slow and plodding. Number 436, Rival Turf. All rightish, and it will earn its fans, but not a game to rush out and buy. Number 435, Magic Sword. An awful game, basically. Alright, it's quite good fun in a way, if you sort of look sideways at it and squint. Number 434, Venom and Spider-Man Separation Anxiety. A plodding, directionless, scrolling beat-em-up that's fun in two-player mode. But ultimately does Spidey, or Super NES owners, few favors. Number 433, Ultra Baseball. Not a huge advance over Baseball Simulator 1000. Number 432, NBA All-Star Challenge. A great-looking and smoothly playing basketball game, but with its 100% commitment to the whole one-on-one game, it perhaps isn't for everyone. Number 431, Kevin Keegan Player Manager. Dull, with the added bonus of an uncomfortable football game thrown in. Look, you didn't buy a Super NES to play games like this. Number 430, The Flintstones. Not a bad game per se, just an average one. Something that the Super NES has quite enough of already, thank you very much. Number 429, Suzuka 8 Hour. The title promises much, but the execution is severely flawed. It's slow, hard to get into, and it lacks any freshness at all. Number 428, The Terminator. The Terminator license has plenty of potential, so it's a bit of a shame to see a lackluster game based on it. Plenty of action, but old-fashioned graphics, repetitive gameplay, and a lack of imagination. Plus the assorted glaring faults combine to create a very ho-hum game. Mindscape seems to be relying on the name alone for pulling power here, which is never a happy state of affair. Number 427, Gunforce. If Contra 3 was Paul Merton, Gunforce would be Bobby Ball. Not recommended. Ugh. Alright, Lauren, I think you're gonna need to explain who Paul Merton and Bobby Ball are.
Yes, an apt description. Paul Merton, a British comedian famous for his incredibly quick wit and rapid-fire responses and unbelievable one-liners, and Bobby Ball, famous for two catchphrases, "You Little Liar" and "Rock On Tommy." I think the description speaks for itself.
Oh, so it's a hot and hip versus old and stale sort of thing. I wonder who the Contra 3 of modern comedy is these days. Oh god, it's Pete Davidson, isn't it?
I mean, maybe PewDiePie will cure cancer, and Charlie D'Amelio will become a surgeon. Who knows?
Number 426, Run Saber. A Strider wannabe that's not really up to much. Nice in places, but miles too easy to finish. Number 425, Stargate. Just like the film, only with all that grand spectacle missed out, which was the only good thing about it. Oh dear, oh dear. Number 424, Asterix and Obelix. You'll either complete it out of sheer determination or overwhelming boredom. Either way, you'll wonder why you bothered. Number 423, PGA Tour Golf. Not the best golf game on the Super Nintendo, but a reasonable stopgap until something better makes its way into this country. Number 422, Primal Rage. A very average conversion of a very average beat-em-up. It's calculated, yes, but with the dinosaurs, gore, and morbid humor, it does at least pull all the right strings. Number 421, Speed World. Speed World is packed with enough options to satisfy even the most committed anorak, so it's a shame that it plays like a dog. Okay, it looks good, but then again, so do many cheeses, and you wouldn't spend 50 quid on them. Number 420, Rushing Beat Run. Well, it's another scrolling beat-em-up, isn't it? It looks a bit smarter than most, but is just as boring as these things always are, and can only be recommended to committed fans. Number 419, Super Cup Soccer 2. Yet another Japanese football simulation which offers very little in its bid to beat the hordes of contenders already out there. Number 418, Time Slip. A poorly executed Contra Spirits clone that's fun for a bit, but only because of what it has borrowed so shamelessly. Number 417, USA Ice Hockey. Looks nice, but doesn't play too well. NHLPA is still the ice hockey game to go for. Number 416, Wolverine Adamantium Rage. Apart from the brilliantly animated main sprite, there's nothing that distinguishes the game at all. It never gets its claws in. Number 415, Wing Commander. It's a solid representation of the PC original considering the Super Nintendo's 3D limitations, so fans will love it. However, we can't help feeling that the original was vastly overrated, translating into a very average Super Nintendo game. Number 414, Mario's Time Machine. Mario's Time Machine hasn't got enough depth on the education side, nor is it that entertaining. It would work better as a sequel to Mario is Missing in an adventure format, with a little quiz after you've visited each person. This really needs more variety to lift it out of the doldrums. Number 413, The Pagemaster. Oh dear, another insipid licensed tie-in thing. Dull, unoriginal, and not even very pretty. And that's just the title screen. Oh! Number 412, Chuck Rock. Whether it's down to the uninspired graphics, the lack of password system, or the charmless central character, I'm not entirely sure. But Chuck Rock didn't do an awful lot for me. Number 411, Super Strike Eagle. A real letdown next to its Amiga and PC-based namesakes. It has its moments, but they're few and far between. Number 410, Jelly Boy. Inspired, beautiful, and exciting. All words which are as applicable to Jelly Boy as Dainty is to Cyril Smith's Y-fronts. Look elsewhere for a good solid platformer. Whoa, my name showed up in a review. Why, that's a first. But I'm not sure I want to know who the Cyril Smith guy is. Alright, Lauren, help us out with this reference.
I mean, when you look into it, have you seen the state of this guy's Y-fronts? I mean, yeah, Dainty is about as far away as you can describe those things. Just look at them.
It's a British politician. Yeah, I knew I was going to regret asking. On with the show. Number 409, Super Back to the Future Part 2. A bit odd and a bit crap as well. Rather a shame, really. Number 408, Batman Forever. A great deal of effort has clearly been expended to making Batman Forever look the part. It seems to have all the ingredients for the ultimate scrolling beat-em-up. But it's no fun. Number 407, Tin Star. A good idea spoiled by a lack of levels to get your teeth into, and a rather linear vein to the ones that are in there already. Number 406, Ghost of Kitaro. The graphics are good, but it doesn't play very well, and it's all a bit weird in Japanese. Number 405, Pro Quarterback. A lightweight American football game with attractive Mode 7 graphics, but many glitches and unworkable strategy. Number 404, Paladin's Quest. 8-bit in appearance, this role-playing game looks distinctly antiquated after Secret of Mana. It would cost a lot less on the NES though. Number 403, New Horizons. One of Koei's more accessible titles to date, but only cautiously recommended even to fellow Stratoraks. Normal people should flee in terror. Number 402, GP1. A no-frills motorbike racing game that could really do with some. Frills, that is. And finally, number 401, Mega Man Soccer. There's no hint of FIFA International Soccer's reality, or a sign of sensible soccer speed, and not even a whiff of World Cup Strikers options galore. Oh, and the gameplay stinks. So what did we learn from this episode? Well, it's not exactly a trend. I do want to point out the last review that we just saw, the one for Mega Man Soccer. There's just such a discrepancy between the American reviews of this weird spin-off and the British reviews. The American critics all wrote reviews that complained that the game wasn't fun, but, you know, it's soccer, so who cares, right? While on the other hand, the British critics all seemed genuinely pissed off at Mega Man Soccer. If you read the full Superplay review, or really any other take from the UK, you'll see them going into fine detail about why they were disappointed. I mean, the review I just read name drops 3 different soccer franchises. I'm not even sure the American critics could tell the difference between FIFA, or Sensible Soccer, or a Legendary 11 Strikers. I mean, I just made that last game up and nobody Electronic Gaming Monthly even noticed. On the flip side, pay attention to the passive-aggressive comments that Superplay says about all the baseball games, even the good ones. It's kind of hilarious. But look, let's not get too hung up on sports here because we're only a third of the way through our countdown. We'll be back on December 7th to go through another 50 games, which should get us up to number 351. We're gonna start breaking into the games that ranked 70% and above, which means that Superplay might actually have something good to say about a game. No, seriously, they aren't always as negative as these first 4 episodes suggest. But for now, well, I need to figure out where I am before I get attacked by werewolves. Oh, I've seen movies. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Superplay's Top 600. Like I said, we're a third of the way through, which means that we still have 8 more episodes to go. Let me tell you, this is going to start getting a lot more positive in the coming weeks, so you'll definitely want to tune in for that. Now, here's the question I have for you. What was the most surprising review from this episode? Let me tell you, the reactions to the placements have been absolutely fascinating to me. It's a whole lot different from the comments that I usually see in the EGM Best and Worst episodes. I'm genuinely excited to see how people react to the next 8 episodes. In other news, we'll be back next week with more reviews, another story breakdown, and 2 more episodes of Superplay's Top 600. If that sounds good to you, then do me a favor and click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then,